Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second Trimonthly Bingo event. I'm going to be the one restreaming this event. We have 8 great contestants here today that are going to be running and competing to beat their specific row as fast as they can, whatever one they choose. And today we're going to be having Pine Cubes and Iced Toblerones commenting over the run today. If you two want to introduce yourself, I'm going to step away and then leave the rest of the way to you guys.
Hello everyone, I'm Iced Toblerones. I'm one of the speedrunners for Rainworld. Been speedrunning for about 2 years at this point, and hope everyone has a great time with the stream today.
Hello, I'm Pine Cubes, or Laura. I'm a member of the community. I do a lot of work on movement. I've been making the tech wiki, and I helped out a bit with the board and some of the Discord challenges.
So, as Ice was saying, the goal here is to complete a single bingo line, and we have a curated board, so all runners are using the same board, and it's basically up to them for what they felt most comfortable, they thought was the fastest route. The board was released 24 hours before, and that's how we run these contests. There's a runner's command I'm just going to put in chat. So if you'd like to watch one of the streams specifically so that you can see the full screen version, you can just click on any of those links. Additionally, the runners are using a color mod to make them easier to keep track of. And we'll be starting in about, I think, 2 minutes from now.
So this bingo is a little different from the last one in that they are starting in the depths and will finish the run at the beginning shelter at the tutorial in Outskirts. The goal is to get maximum karma and finish a row, column, or diagonal of the bingo board.
Sure. Well, I can go through the runners a bit because we have a bit of time here. So first is Pi, or 3.14. Pi has speed runs of Monk any percent primarily. They have the second best time in the category still with a 13:47. It's one of the best times for the any percent speed run in general. So curious to see how they will do today. Lord AMB, or just AMB, is mainly a score runner, but they were a previous bingo participant. I think they got 5th. Actually, didn't write that down. And the other notable thing about them is their first Pebbles percent time was actually quite good, which I think we mentioned in the last bingo. Last time AMB had a rough time at the beginning of the bingo, but recovered quite well. So hopefully they get a better start this time. We will see. I expect them to do well, though. Find a Die is the intended percent world record holder for Survivor and Monk. The most notable thing about them, in my mind, is that amongst the other people I've done intended percent, they actually go through unfortunate development, which is too scary for me to do, but they're extremely, extremely good at going through that region. And so they have a good idea of doing routes through rooms that are sort of consistent, and so I want to see how that helps them out in the bingo. They also have the 4th best time for Survivor any percent currently. Nano Ferret is a newer kind of Rainworld streamer slash challenge runner. They've been dabbling with score running a bit and also with speedruns. They just posted a 31:43 for Pebbles recently. That's actually a very good time. It's just not on the board yet. And doing the Discord challenges that Pine Cubes, I think, is mainly responsible for, provides a lot good variety of experience with things in the game, so I expect Nano to do quite well. Sure. I'll talk more about the runners later, but I hear we are about to start soon.
All right, I'll count it down because I can see the timer real quick. And we'll switch over. And 3, 2, 1, and the time has started, and the bingo board is now up. There's going to be a bit of stream delay there, but the timer has started and the runners are starting at this point. And I'll leave it over to you guys.
Good luck, everyone. Let me see. I just have to figure out my stuff here for a moment. So, as Laura mentioned, Pine Cubes, the runners are all starting in filtration system here, which, looking at the board quickly, and just kind of thinking about in general, the options for getting out of filtration system, you're basically looking at either going into drainage or you're going to have to take the way into shoreline are the two intended ways to get out of subterranean. Otherwise, you could do an insane strat with getting into farm arrays, but I doubt anyone's going to do that. Oh, we already have a death from pies. Okay. Well, had to happen to someone.
So navigating past the mole lizards infiltration is going to be a big obstacle to start off. It's quite a difficult region to ascend through, I think. But we should see pretty early on who decides to pick drainage versus shoreline.
So let me see here. Find a Die is already heading up to Miros Birdland. Have to see how that goes for them. So they're presumably headed to shoreline. It's actually somewhat tough to get up that way. You have to make a kind of difficult jump or going through the longer path. Oh, Find a Die had a death. Okay. Can see the Ambi also is headed towards shoreline, seems like. Raccoon is already in drainage system, I think. Okay, very nice. So Raccoon is the first one to be escaping from filtration here. It seems like the majority of the runners here are headed to shoreline. Ambi's just playing with centipedes right now. Try not to die, but it's doing a good job. You can see the hunter score running experience coming in handy. Although has to navigate around this mole lizard. Ah, Pies is in drainage. Okay. Nice, nice. So this is basically the split for what the runners have picked, is that Pies and Raccoon going through drainage, rest of the runners going to shoreline, it seems like.
So a big benefit of picking drainage is the fourth row, fourth column has enter garbage waste as a third region. And via drainage, that's the most direct route, and allows for 3 different possible rows.
Of course, anyone who is playing the game, as I saw a chatter mention, drainage is not the easiest place to go through, but it's definitely feasible once you learn how to do the swimming, and I mean, even without it. Once you get a little more experience with the region. I think that was part of the motivation behind picking it, is that it was like something you don't see that often when you're looking at Rain World speedrunning. You don't see the water path through. And so that's pretty interesting to see. Pie's doing a great job making the first swim there. And so you can see Find a Die trying to do this jump here that I mentioned earlier that's quite challenging. Although I would think at this point they might want to consider... oh man, that stick bounce is unfortunate. They might want to consider heading the other way. That you can see Nano in the lower corner has already got there. Just checking where Ambi is. Okay, they decided to take a shelter there is an interesting choice. Oh, Find a Die just got up there at like such a close time in that Mirror Spurt. That was awesome. Can see Rek doing the same thing. Trying to make this somewhat hard jump. Oh, Rek's trying to creature fling his way up? If I was seeing that right? No, doesn't look like. Okay. They just missed a stick into the wall there. So I can see that Pies is just getting to one of the hardest swimming parts in drainage. So, interested to keep an eye on them, because they are definitely making their... Oh, this is a bold swim attempt from them. Wow. Wait, oh, they have the bubble fruit.
Successfully escaping, yes.
Okay.
Yes, so Survivor, as opposed to, I think, Hunter, gets double lead in there. Along with Monk for the last stretch of swimming. It sometimes also helps in garbage wastes with some of the red leeches down at the bottom.
So Raccoon being the first one to make it to garbage wastes, I think. That's very nice. Although Pies is right behind them, even with a death, so they're doing quite well so far.
See Rek having it pretty rough with some centipedes, blocking that sort of... Oh, and a death, yes. Or not? I missed that. That might have been on Ambi's screen, even.
So we're just going to go ahead and switch to the other runners right now. See how this works. So something I wanted to mention that I think is interesting. So amongst other things, you can see that Nano and Timby have each made it into Shoreline, which is quite good. White Paws is still going along. Something that you'll notice on the bingo board is that Nano and Timby have each selected to have no hibernations in Chimney or Industrial. And so that's going to be interesting to see how that turns out. So you can kind of guess which of the rows they might be going for. I have a feeling Timby's going to go for demasking 2 vultures, but we will see.
For a death to scavengers on Raccoon's end, they can be pretty rough in lower garbage, blocking some like one-way paths.
You can see Raccoon already doing some EI hops as they just go around casually. What a show off. I can probably give a little of the background that I sort of got halfway through earlier. So I left off at Raccoon, and the most notable thing about him in a Rain World perspective to me is he has all the Pebbles percent records right now, basically, or for Survivor Monk. And the biggest thing about him was that he basically demonstrated to the community that doing Pebbles percent without a Squid Cicada was actually faster with using advanced movement techniques. And so you can expect from Raccoon to see a lot more advanced movement things than you might from the other runners, frequent use of VI hops. And another interesting thing about them is that they have the moon percent records. And once again, getting that with advanced movement things in garbage waste this exact way here. So I expect Raccoon to have a pretty good understanding of moving through these garbage rooms that you don't see that often in other runs. So next we have
at Jellyfish Unlock. So they may be going for the first column worth of squares.
And they didn't have it in their save, but they got it, so that definitely counts. Okay. Probably just quickly go through the rest. White Paws that you'll see on the top left is also a newer speedrunner to Rain World. They speedrun a lot of other games, and they have a lot more experience in kind of live events and things more than any of the other runners do. And White Paws has mainly done Pebbles percent. They have, I think it's like 5th or 6th place. They have a pretty good time with it. Timby does score runs, so mainly a hunter runner. It makes perfect sense to see them in the first column, perhaps, if they're going for creature killing things. Seems like something they would go for. And then Rek is a hunter speedrunner primarily. Rek and Some Dingus made a lot of progress in the last year with changing the way the run is. Okay, so let me see. Enter Garbage Waste as the third region is one of Raccoon's tiles. So they could be going for that 4th row or that 4th column, which trying to kill a DLL or a BLL seems kind of spooky. So we might have several of the, or he might be going for the 4th row actually, which will be neat. That's like the, oh, a death from Raccoon to like an instant lizard. That's terrible. Well, bound to happen.
And with the speed running being set back to the bottom of Garbage Waste, it's they were in industrial at the death, so.
It would seem that Pies and Raccoon are, I'm guessing, going for the same routes here. But they can't be, they're, unless they just haven't marked it on their bingo board, the don't hibernate in chimney or industrial. That would mean they're going for the 4th. Unless they're doing the diagonal. That would be interesting. I have to see how the race shakes out here.
Himby now trying to get up onto the jellyfish platform. We'll have to see what method they use.
It does seem right now, based on my calculations, that Nano Ferret is in first place, just from them being in shaded already.
It looks like White Paws is going for the Shoreline Tower Pearl, using a... No, just swimming with a bubble weed to get up the right-hand side of the tower.
Excellent strategy, I think. That was quite good. Although sometimes with this one, this is the hardest part, whether you get a white lizard. So want to see what happens here. Oh no, there's a white lizard right there. Okay. Good luck to White Paws. We will see how this shakes out on the top left.
I took a death from the white, yeah.
Oh,
It's sometimes worth carrying a jellyfish along with a bubbleweed to get up there, because you can use it to shock the white down and to quickly get past it. But it can be rough to root for that, and it's quite slow.
yeah, jellyfish are common in shoreline, but aren't along the way here from drainage this way. I'm trying to even think of what the closest one is, because all the jellyfish are on the surface, and the way you get
Probably
here is through the
in the bottom of the tower.
yeah.
It just takes a long pipe shortcut to get back up.
It's probably worthwhile to go for, though. The jellyfish shock everything, Candy May. Well, not everything, but basically everything. You can shock vultures with them, Meros birds, I don't know. Whatever you want, pretty much. I think it's based on the weight of the creature, but it applies to a lot of things.
See a few people heading towards Shaded now as well. Not clear if that's for an echo or for memory crits yet.
White Paws just got the pearl, so that tile I think is done for them. Although it's funny that they're just hanging out with these vultures. Oh, they were trying to have the vultures kill them, I think, but the vulture. Oh, there it goes. Okay, that was funny.
So we might not see the runners tick off the tiles they've completed until they're in region gates or shelters. And I think, same as last time, people will only tick off the ones for the row or column that they're trying.
So quick update here. See Nano going through the dark part of Shaded backwards, which is kind of interesting. Raccoon is just getting a rest in Industrial right now, so they're disqualified from that tile. Just looking at Timby, I don't know if I missed it, but whether they just got the jellyfish unlock. But I think we're gonna switch over to the other runners now. Just in time to see Find a Die do some EI hops in Shaded. Which I'm guessing they're using the same kind of route that Nano Ferret is using. And B, I think, is just getting into Shoreline, so that's kind of not sure what happened in their run, actually. Wreck is just at the Jellyfish unlock. And Pies is in Chimney going somewhere.
Looks like Timby is still trying the jellyfish unlock. They may have taken a death to a vulture or such.
Wreck made it there, but seems to be having also fun with the vulture in the same jellyfish unlock room. So something else is that I believe Pies does have the Discord Ascension role for having completed all the challenges. So I do expect them to be one of the more experienced players with getting through some of these other rooms. Like, they're doing things in Chimney right now that I think are pretty decent for dealing with the off-screen lizards and just managing to get through this room in general. Chimney can be quite tough to climb. I think a lot of players probably have experience doing that. Basically, Slugcat cannot throw sticks up, and so having lizards above you is always a bit of a pain. And Chimney kind of is the de facto region for that situation, on top of having vultures that can come and get you. interested to see if Find a Die's movement here. Doing fast pole climbing quite well and going for E-slides. Just going through these rooms in general. I never watch Find a Die go through these rooms, so it's kind of interesting for me to see that. I think Rek is... Which gate is this? Is he just into Shaded now?
Into Shaded, yes.
Okay.
Probably following a similar route to the others. We see Pi reaching the Sky Islands gate, so might be going for Kaeva or I think the comms array pearl. Which could be that they're doing the diagonal, the backslash.
Right, because they skipped Shoreline Tower. I can't remember which route they went exactly, but it could be going for the diagonal then. Because I believe that Pies had a rest in Industrial or Chimney, but I'm not sure if they would have managed to get through both regions like that. I'm not sure if any runner used a Jetfish or a Squid Cicada or anything like that yet. Oh, just see a bingo board update here. A few of the runners have updated their intent to get the Jellyfish unlock. Oh, I didn't realize that it... Did it say not to use Jellyfish actually in that tile as well? I'm just scanning the board quickly.
Yes, squids, jetfish, or grapple worms. Squids.
Right. So Jellyfish are fine. It's just the movement creatures to avoid. You can see Ambi's definitely going for the Jetfish right now.
Looks like Pi might be going for the vulture demasks. Sort of hanging about the top of Chimney.
Ah, and they have not gone for the vulture grub, which that's kind of oh, they do. They have gone for it, but let me see. Ah, yeah, they know what to do. Okay, you would expect. So, using an interesting item in the game was the vulture grub. This is something you find where you can basically get vultures to come to the same room where you are if you're alive.
So we'll probably see a lot of echoes this run because the board desensitizes pebbles quite a bit more. Getting up the wall is a lot of work, and there aren't that many tiles that will be sort of obtainable on the way.
Curious to know how Pies is going to make out with these vultures here. Looks like it's going good so far, but he has the two vultures here. So let me see, how's he going to do this? Looks like the vultures are giving him a bit of an easy time, actually. That one's dead. And let me see, vulture number 2. It can be pretty challenging to deal with a pile of creatures like this, but they seem to be doing a pretty decent job. Oh, the third vulture has decided to show up. It must be stressful for Pies right now, but I think they're handling this quite well.
We see Raccoon entering Sky Islands, I think the first to do so.
I think Pies got 2 vulture demasks, so they have successfully done that. Okay. Very nice. So, almost certainly they're going for the diagonal then. Find a Die, I believe, is struggling a bit getting the Jellyfish unlock. I thought they were going for an EI hop to do it, but it is something that's a little hard to do under pressure. There we go. Okay, nice, nice. Okay, Find a Die has got the jellyfish unlock. Very nice. Can see Wreck presumably died to a scavenger and shaded. I didn't see what happened exactly. And bees and garbage waste now, which... kind of curious where they're going, because they don't have anything on the board right now. Can see Pies is also climbing the wall currently, so I'm a little interested to see what they're going for on this. I guess this is how they're trying to satisfy the karma requirement, is simply by visiting Pebbles. Rex death to whatever it was, shaded something, seemed quite costly. Oh, they have the rare kelp. That's hilarious. That kelp has, I think, a 5 or 15% chance to lineage from nothing. So you do not see it that often, actually.
Seeing a lot more movement in shaded from the point of view.
There's no way Pies is going for yellow lizard kills, so right now they're just kind of struggling to get ahead here, I think. Oh, nice dodge on the yellow lizards. Ooh, almost fell down, but okay.
We see Nana on the small screen, now the third person ascending chimney canopy.
We'll just switch back over to the other runners now. So I'm curious to know where Timby just rested. Also White Paws and Shaded as well. It does seem that a lot of the runners have opted for the same route this time. Oh, Raccoon right now going for the communications array pearl, which is that same diagonal. So I'm curious to know where Raccoon is going to go for the vulture demasks. I really like Pie's strategy that they used of doing it in the tunnel. I think that's a great spot for it. But Raccoon might go for vulture cheese, actually. So I'm curious to see what they'll do for that. Nano is cutting it close here, getting into the wall, but I think they're making it. See if they check their timer, or they're just gonna go with it. Oh no, Raccoon died! No! Oh, back up to communications array. That area is kind of tough to get through, depending what the white lizards do. I wonder if Nano had food, actually. Although, I think they'll make it. They'll make it. Yeah, it's not even raining. Easy. Easy make it. Great job from Nano there. Scavs have been featured prominently so far, I think, in this contest. You can see White Paws hanging out with the Scavs once again in Shaded, who have claimed a few runners so far. Yeah, stab the Scav, that's right. White Paws knows what's up. Don't trust the Scavs. So let me see. Where's Raccoon going now? Did Raccoon... Oh, Raccoon got the pearl and jumped off. Oh, I see. Okay. I thought he died. Okay, I get it. Now, I am wondering if he's going back for vulture cheese. So, we have a pretty good idea of what Raccoon is doing. Must demask 2 vultures. Don't use... right squids. And 2 scab merchants. Oh, it looks like Raccoon is definitely, I think, in the lead, but competitive with Pies for sure right now. So Pies, it looks like, opted for getting the karma from Pebbles first, which I feel like I haven't seen use of a passage yet from any of the runners, which is a little curious to me. A few of the runners have visited the Shaded Echo, I believe.
Looks like Nanoturret is headed to the chimney echo now. Opting not to use the pacifying effect to kill vultures.
Yep, whereas Raccoon is currently doing the vulture cheese. I think that's 2 masks for them. Looks like. Okay, so Raccoon has that tile as well. Raccoon is doing quite well so far. So I think it's looking like Pies and Raccoon are doing quite strong so far. And I think Raccoon is now headed towards Pebbles. So Raccoon being the master of Pebbles speedrunning. We will see how they do climbing the wall here, because it's quite a tough thing to do, even as an experienced player. But we will see what kind of luck they get for the wall climb here, because I imagine they're going to do it in one go.
Looks like Timby is killing vultures in the industrial to outskirts sort of entrance. There's a big part of killing vultures is getting them not to fly away after you've stabbed them a couple of times. So using a sort of ceiling is a really good strategy for that.
And additionally, Timby, as a score runner, is going to be more proficient at the actual vulture kills than most of the other players here. Just having a closer look at White Paws again.
Yes, White Paws appears to be on a different route to the rest of everyone, going for the Shoreline Tower Pearl.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of what they would be doing. Probably the second row. That's kind of interesting. Although I'm not quite sure what they're doing now. I think they're trying to get a vulture to come. So... is that what they're doing? No. I'm not sure what White Paws is going for, actually, but... like I mentioned earlier, White Paws is probably one of the least experienced runners from Rain World, but most experienced from speedruns in general and also live events. So I don't expect them to have the best Rain World map knowledge generally, but I do expect them to basically not panic under pressure.
And they came second in the last bingo, so might be looking to pull out a win in this one.
We will see, though, as I'm guessing Raccoon is not planning to make it easy on them. Oh, Raccoon's stream is buffering? Okay, it's fine. So you can see the strat used in the Pebbles speedrun currently, where you avoid the orange lizard den entirely, and you just climb up this part of the wall using a couple of spears that you can normally at least find one around. Hopefully, no sneaky white lizard saw Raccoon off screen. Otherwise, that might be a problem for them.
So it looks like White Paws is going for the second row. So we'll have to see where they find 3 orange lizards. I guess they'll be heading up to Sky Islands now for the comms array pal.
That seems likely. So I'm wondering if they'll... I wonder if they'll use a passage, actually. If we'll see a passage out of Sky Islands once they have the communications array and the orange lizards. If they passage to a good spot, like here in Chimney, or Industrial, I mean, they'll be able to get to the end quite quickly. But the problem, right, is they need the karma. So that's the last requirement here that I haven't seen them focus on. So we'll see if Pies with focusing on the karma earlier and then Raccoon just getting there, if that puts them out on top here. Can see Nano killing vultures without a ceiling, just literally killing them, because, yeah, why not? So they just got the 2 vulture demask. This is actually quite competitive, I would say, right now. I think all of the runners are doing spectacularly well, actually.
Other than the difficult subterranean drainage shoreline start, the pace has been really strong from sort of then on.
You can just see Tim B now making the climb as well. Seems like they're having a decent time. Vultures coming in clutch, removing white lizards out of the way. Just have to call the vulture cleaning service whenever you need to get up this room here. Remove the camo lizards. Yeah, just as a reminder, all the runners started in filtration system, in subterranean, and the ending is in outskirts. So that's why there's that bingo tile that is enter outskirts for the first time from farm arrays, which I don't think anyone's going for that one, if I was correct about this. But that's how that was possible, to enter outskirts for the first time. Just going to be switching again, as we have several runners all in the gate at the same time. We are synchronized here on the small screens for a moment there. Find a die and wreck. Just getting into industrial at exactly the same time. So funny to watch them do this room. Although some sloppy movement. Oh, yes. Okay. Great decision. Great decision.
And taking the explosive spear in the back.
Oh. No, find a die. No. Too bad, too bad. Whereas Wreck, by sheer luck of not encountering scavs, managed to get through completely smoothly. Okay, let me see. With Pies, they are definitely headed to, I believe, the communications array pearl now. Oh, scary scavs. I haven't been keeping tabs on Ambi the closest, but they are in industrial right now.
Interesting that they've checked the kill 3 scavengers option.
Well, oh, sorry. Well, as a, oh, I unmuted this. Okay, sorry. As a score runner and scav hater that Ambi is, it makes perfect sense to me. If I had to guess, that's what they would have gone for, is getting the scavs. Also, I see an advertisement. Oh no, Wreck, why do you do this? And we can see that Wreck with... What was the last one that they just did there? So, oh, they got the vultures. So Raccoon has completed basic bingo. Right. And they also, okay, they're passaging now. Okay, it looks like Raccoon is going to take this, if I had to guess. At this point. Although Pies is not far behind, by any means.
Raccoon's on max karma as well, having gone up the wall, so it's just the walk from industrial to outskirts.
I really haven't been keeping track of which line Rec is going for, though. I can see that no one has been going for Chieftain, is what I would guess here. Although maybe AMB is killing through scavs and going for Chieftain. But I kind of doubt it. I think at this point, it's all but guaranteed for Raccoon to finish in first.
Unless the outskirts lizards give them a hell of a run for their money.
Yeah, you know, that pink lizard that lives right below here can be a prickly fellow from time to time. Although it looks like they are not here today.
I, having gone up the wall first, gets the benefit of being able to passage out of Sky Islands, I think. Which should put them close behind, I think.
Yeah, because basically once they get the pearl here, they can just jump off the side and then get a passage immediately. So we can see in the small screen that Raccoon is just finishing up here. So congratulations to Raccoon. There's nothing in their way at this point. So I'm not sure what their final bingo time is going to be, but from what I can tell, it's looking like a 40-40. So congratulations, Raccoon. So we have our...
going for vulture demasks at the bottom of chimney. Also has a bit of an overhang.
Have the winner to the second ever Rain World Bingo event. So congratulations to Raccoon, previous winner being Haborp. So just have to wait how the rest of the runners go. Pies, I think, is doing quite well, although I believe they had a death for the pearl. No, they checked it off, so they made it to the pearl. So what are they doing now?
Maybe the scav merchant in Sky Islands going for
Oh, yeah, I guess maybe they skipped the scav merchant. That will always be a strange routing mistake. I think maybe they weren't aware of the strat to die at the Shoreline Tower Pearl to be able to use the passage. Because that would have been definitely the strat, unless there's some rule I'm not aware of with it. But definitely Pies should be passaging here. Can see... Find a die is another runners making the climb. Okay, yeah, Pies did the passage correctly. Very good. So Pies, I think, likely is going to be in second place if I'm following this correctly. I can see Rec had a death, actually, somewhere. Because they are back in that industrial room. You know, I think they died to scavs, probably. So Find a Die had the, short scav death, and Rec had the long scav death, so... Yeah. It seems like Rec's luck in each of the bingos has not been the best for them. I think we'll just switch the cameras again.
Looks like Pi slept a little higher up in Industrial compared to Raccoon as well, and so has only been able to passage to the top shelter.
Right, instead of the west industrial shelter. Let me see. Can see Timby going up the wall here, so I'm kind of curious to see how they'll do. They have a vulture mask. Oh, so they got a off-screen angry white lizard that must have seen them, because this is a problem for them. When you're using only the regular vulture mask, the lizards figure out your ruse quite quickly. I would say amongst the runners, it's kind of like a rumor that the white lizards are the smart lizards somehow, because they figure out that you're using the vulture mask seemingly quicker than the other lizards do. But it's likely just related to them having a bit more vision / being off screen and able to see you earlier. And so a lot of the time going up here with a regular vulture mask is no guarantee of an easy wall. You can see Nano just headed into Sky Islands as well. I'm just having a look at which thing they're doing. So, okay, they're going for the 3 orange lizard kills and the Farmer Rays Echo. So I'm glad we're going to see at least one of the runners go for Farmer Rays here. Oh, White Paws is just playing with vultures right now, I think. Are they? So White Paws is definitely doing the second row. So I think they're going for wall oranges. Although Communications Array Pearl is kind of interesting. I'm not exactly sure what they're up to. Oh, no. Oh, you know, if White Paws could use his passage to get his karma back up, that would be an interesting strat if White Paws considers that. Because it would also give them a chance to, like, get some backup karma from the Chimney Canopy Echo if they go on up there.
Looks like Timby will be going for the Farmer Rays Echo alongside Pebbles, which is interesting. Possibly from the outskirts entrance.
I think Nano going for the same route. Although they're in wildly different places now. I don't remember whether Nano has got the karma yet, or if they're visiting echoes along the way. That's kind of interesting. Oh, they're using... Okay, so Nano's actually using a squid right now. Disqualifying them from the middle of the board here. Oh, is Nano using the mask swap glitch? So there's actually an interesting glitch that can be used, which is why they were able to get... Yeah, they are using it. Okay. There's an interesting glitch that I think was found, last year for how to do it. Where you can hold a squid cicada or any kind of two-handed object and a vulture mask simultaneously. Normally, you're not supposed to be able to do that. Also mentioning that Pies has just finished, coming in second place. GG's to Pie. But the hand swap glitch is quite helpful going this way. Because it allows you to basically get through these rooms that normally you need a squid cicada for unless you're doing advanced movement for the platforming, and bring a vulture mask, so you don't have to pick. White Paws also just headed into Sky Islands right now, I believe. So they're only at Karma level 3. So I think they're going for the Communications Array Pearl now. I think they've kind of adjusted their route slightly. Which I think was the kind of thing you'd expect from White Paws having done these things. They would have thought of backups probably for their route with picking it. And so going this way makes a lot of sense because I had the feeling they were trying to get in the wall, but realizing that's going to be a problem. So going this way allows them to use their passage to come back, get the karma back up. After finishing the orange lizards and the Communications Array Pearl. So I expect them to do something like this, but we have to see if they can manage to get through these tricky platforming rooms in Sky Islands without dying. Because they did need to get to 3 karma here to get into Sky Islands. Timby's just headed into 5 pebbles.
Looks like Finna is now also heading up the wall. Just at the orange lizard nest.
Great job, Pies. Fantastic. Finished second. So, great job. I thought you were going to win, actually, partway through, because Raccoon had a bit of an early death, but they recovered quite well. But yeah, you did a great job. I heard very loud lizard snapping sounds from somewhere, but I'm very confused. Oh, that's Ambi. Okay. I think I had something unmuted.
Looks like
Also-
Nano is going for the Sky Islands Echo, so we'll probably be going for all echoes, or for 4 echoes as opposed to pebbles.
Also having Kayava feels nice. A few runners went through that same room though, so several people have got to hear the best Rain World song. So I think amongst the runners, I think Nano seems to be one of the few that are going for echoes for Karma as opposed to going to Pebbles. So that, I think, has good synergy with the Farmeray's Echo, except you can see Timby doing the same row has decided to go to Pebbles instead. So I'm interested how Pebbles, or not Pebbles, how Timby will get away from Pebbles here. Like, I wonder if they're going to Passage or what they will do to exit the wall here. Because I would say that Nano has a significant advantage. Also, the reason they were going for the shaded earlier. Although, let's see if they can manage to get 3 orange lizards here. I know the oranges tend to act crazy in this room. And they'll, like, come and stand outside, which maybe you can spare them off, but... Yeah, see, that orange just ran and jumped off the side. So, a bit of an issue here for Nano. I would suggest normally if you're trying to kill orange lizards to not use a Vulture Mask, actually, and use rock strats, and instead pick up the mask if, like, they're surrounding you, and then put it back down type of thing. The Farmer Raised Pearl, I'm pretty sure, is not the reindeer one. It's the other Farmer Raised Pearl. It's the one in the column.
Michael's dying off the top of Comsere for Passage. And we see Timby also passaging, but this time from Pebbles. Interestingly, we haven't seen White Paws get the 3 orange lizards. So they might be going for the ones on the wall instead of in Sky Islands. That's the last bingo square they need. Looks like Timby could only passage to the garbage waste side of Industrial, so we'll have a bit of a trek to get to Outskirts, but it's looking good on 3rd place, I think. Or no, actually has the Farmeray's Echo to get to, so they'll have to go there via Outskirts, it looks.
I think Nano is having to go on a bit of a mission to go find orange lizards, which is kind of a funny situation to be in, but looks like they are finding some here. Let me see. White Paws is now making their way to the wall, which is good. I'm guessing they got the communications array. And so White Paws is going to have to get 3 oranges along the way up if they're doing this route. Again, White Paws doing quite well. They are definitely not the most experienced Rain World player, but they're, I think, keeping it together quite well for this kind of live event. Oh, is Timby headed towards the end? Oh, I see the route Timby's using. Has to go across the scav toll. I see. So Timby is very close to the end as well. Yeah. Okay. I was going to think of a scene switch, but I think we'll keep it on for Timby to see them finish off with the Farmer Ray's echo here.
Looks like Finna is having a bit of trouble with the yellow lizards down in that corner. Took
A lot
down
of trouble.
like a pile of 5 of them. So it looks like Timby is going the outskirts route to the Farmer's Echo, but Nano should be heading down from the Sky Island side. We'll see where that puts either of them, but they should be on pretty equal footing.
I thought I somehow blinked and missed Timby visiting the Farmer's Echo, but oh, they're taking a rest here? Oh,
interesting.
okay. So they're gonna finish off by visiting the Echo. That's a funny. No, wait, the Echo's not there. Oh, what is Timby doing? Okay, well, I don't know what Timby is doing, because I don't think they visited the Farmer's Echo unless I missed it entirely. This is funny. I think I know what's in their mind with this, but they're going to find out that the Farmer's Echo is not there when they get there. Yeah, because they're still going here. Yeah, okay. Interesting. Yeah, exactly, Raccoon. Timby's having a hunter moment right now. Yes, exactly. So, kind of spoilers, but in hunter mode, the Echo is there without you having to pre-prime it. So I'll see what Timby does, because I think they'll be quite good. I don't know. Maybe they thought of this already and are just going to passage. I don't know if they used it already, but otherwise that's a definite routing mistake on their part.
Looks like Nano took a death on the Farmer's side of Sky Islands, possibly to a vulture. Looked like they were having some trouble. But with Timby having to rest before the Echo, looks like they'll be pretty neck and neck.
Not Skylands. Farmer's is one of the slowest regions to go through in general. But, interested to see how Nano will go through there. So if you look at the bingo board, one of the objectives is kill 3 orange lizards. This is the final thing that White Paws needs to complete besides getting to X Karma. So they are having a bit of a struggle with it. Oranges are not the easiest to deal with here.
Just saw Ambi enter the Scav Merchant room, which might mean they're going for the 5th column, which would be a sort of trip from Farmer's into Subterranean to hibernate in that left shelter.
That's an interesting one. But if they do that strat, very likely they'll use a passage. I can't see any other way they wouldn't do that.
Yeah, it seems like it.
So Timby just getting towards the... They have a bit of graphical glitch going on. Just getting towards the...
Oh, taking a death to a green?
Oh.
They're skipping it, so... Gosh. Seeing
Yeah, that's how this
Nanoturret
can...
now in Farmaries, eating a popcorn to maybe hibernate.
That would be quite a comeback story to see Nano ending up in third. But we will see, we will see. This is Rain World we're talking about here.
Finna is still at the wall oranges, so we might switch over the camera now. Have a look at Rec, Ambi, and Finna.
Can see Find a Die is struggling with the same thing that White Paws is, and trying to get these orange lizard kills that they need. Oh, Rec is just in Pebbles right now. Okay, nice. Again, X Karma. And Rec is choosing to quit out with the X. Let me see. So I think Rec was going for the Don't Hibernate in Chimney or Industrial. Actually, that would mean Rec's kind of close as well. But I'm kind of curious what they're going to do here. So they're maybe making an interesting journey all the way down into Outskirts, if I had to guess right now. Kind of curious what they'll do. There's a kind of strat that, ooh, what the? Oh, so where's Rec passaging to? I see. I'm curious where Rec's gonna end up here. So, do they already have a Outskirts shelter rest?
They probably will be in garbage, I guess. Missing the chimney or industrial shelter. Oh, shaded, of course. Missing the chimney or industrial shelter, it makes passaging back towards Outskirts pretty difficult for the Farmaries Echo on this route.
Yes, yes.
We saw Timby have to travel from garbage wastes.
Yeah, so Rec's just going to be headed over to Outskirts right now. So I'm also curious about Ambi once again. Suddenly they have several of the tiles filled, and they are going to be going for the pink, pearl, and Farmaries most likely. And yes, far left sub-shelter. So that, at least we have a runner doing a road no one else has done. Although, I guess it's, from this contest, it seems like there was clearly a best route with Raccoon and Pies finishing earliest doing the same way.
Taking another near death to a pile of yellow lizards. Hopefully they can pull out the kills.
Oranges can be quite challenging to deal with. I'm seeing Ambi die to them just as well. Orange lizards themselves are probably one of the weakest lizards, just in the sense of being unable to bite you. But they are clever enough to take different routes in rooms. So depending, and the designers, of course, place them in rooms where they're difficult to deal with. And so a lot of the time they're going to basically take specific routes in rooms to corner you. Which, that's where dealing with them being difficult comes in.
Rick taking a death, ending up back in shaded, it seems, trying to get through industrial. especially east to west, the lizards can be a little hard to deal with. There are a few less options.
Truly have quite a few runners here that are neck and neck. Although it looks like Timby is heading over to the Echo right now. Wreck playing with the scavs once again.
Looks like Nano has also made it to the Farmery's Echo, so they definitely are right by each other.
I think we'll switch the scene back just to have a look at Timby and Nano more specifically. See a couple of the other runners finish. So you can see Timby has now, primed the Echo, which previously mentioned in Hunter mode, that is not a requirement. So I'm wondering whether that was a big surprise to them. But we can see, I think Nano has primed the Echo and is now resting in the shelter here.
Looks like White Paws is now heading up to Pebbles. Maybe they've managed the 3 orange kills. We'll have to see.
Yeah, this is great, actually. There are a lot of runners that are very close to the end here. Especially, okay, Timby's going for the starve strat. I see. So, basically, the way this is going to go for Timby, visit the Echo, their run is done. Whereas Nano has to get through the toll still to get to the end. Okay, you can see what they're going for. But the problem is, if Timby dies here, somehow, if Timby somehow dies, they are back in outskirts. And they have to come all the way back here. So Timby is going for the riskiest thing they can do right now, whereas Nano is just visiting the Echo normally. I can see Finadai also on the small screen is doing the similar climb up the wall now, following the way that White Paws went. And so now Timby is starving and has this green lizard in their way. Because another thing that has happened is that Timby has double spawned farm arrays, because that is their first rest in the region. So, oh, they're falling down. Timby, please survive, please survive. So, with the worm grass, it's quite spooky when you're starving. Ah, they made it through, okay. Timby's not quite in the clear yet, but they're almost there.
Nano is now heading into outskirts. They've got a pearl. Looks like a close 3rd and 4th place.
Indeed, indeed. Okay, so that's GG for
1 hour 7 minutes, looking roughly.
Yep, that's GG for Timby. Which I don't know if they have to technically rest in the shelter, but I'm sure they probably asked. But that would be 3rd place right there for Timby. Otherwise, it might have been...
White Paws now heading into Pebbles. Because of the don't hibernate in chimney or industrial, they'll probably have an easier time passaging out than the runners that did the first column.
So we can see Wreck as well on the small screen just getting to outskirts. I think they're also going for the same strat to be used with the either death or starve, probably. Is what they'll go for.
And we see Finno now heading up to Pebbles, presumably has the orange lizard kills. Doing the pebbles top of the wall skip strat with a single spear. You can either roll pounce or crawl 10 jump to get it into that wall and just about make it up.
Nano is closing in on the end currently. So that is a 4th place finish for Nano Ferret. Very well done. Hope to see them again in a future Rain World Bingo event. Should also just mention for everyone that if this looks interesting to you, generally we're going to try to have these every 3 months. So next one's like October-ish. And it's advertised in the Meta and Tech chat of the Rain World Discord. So if you're not on the Rain World Discord, probably should join it and look at the Meta and Tech channel for when it comes to Rain World Bingos anyways.
Looks like Andy is now getting into farmeries. Gonna have to get the pearl, which is not too far off the route to subterranean, and then that left sub shelter. Not looking like too long. Just a bit of traveling over the sort of planters in farmeries.
White Paws is also closing in on the end here. So we once again have another kind of quick finish or tight finish between Wreck and White Paws, it seems like.
We might switch over to the other camera now, just to see Rick, who's looking to be heading to the Scav Toll. Finna about to reach Pebbles, and Ambi traversing through farmeries.
Yep, and just leaving off White Paws here, who I think is in the race to the finish, so we will see how that goes. I'm believing that White Paws will get to the end before Wreck, but we will see. If we can have a scene switch here.
Just as White Paws takes a death to a ferocious white lizard in Industrial, not set too far back there. Looks like Finna has now died to Passage. We'll see where their shelter is. Should be shaded, I think, the Industrial gate.
So Finna died just passaging.
And it looks like Wreck may have taken a death to the Scav Toll, I think.
Oh, is Wreck just trying to force his way through?
Doing the same strat as Timby, I think. But yeah, looking pearlless.
How bold of them. Especially because they go to Pebbles. Wreck went to Pebbles. He could have put... Oh, but he quits out. Oh, I see. Okay. Definitely, this is not a strat that you want to be looking at as something that's reliable. I know when you watch a 100% speed run or pilgrimage these days, you're just look at it and you're like, oh, the Scav Toll's a joke. You just jump over it. Turns out that there are probably like 10 runs that you didn't see that the Scavs killed you. And so that is something that's definitely not a reliable strat to go for it, to just jump through the Scav Toll.
See Finna now waking up, presumably going to have to do the echo as well. And Ambi back at the Sky Islands gate, it looks like. Must have had trouble in farmeries.
Don't worry, J-Mop. Next Rain World Bingo, we're going to have a tile in the middle that is kill 300 scavs. If you get that tile, you win. That'll be the next bingo. Just looking here. Can see, find a die. I think just passage. Doing basically the same thing as Rec, and now just heading back across Industrial. Scavs once again in the room that you do not like to see Scavs in. Although the one find a die's dealing with right now is not armed with this stick, thankfully, because that might have gone poorly. And B, the only runner that has decided to ride the reindeer, which I feel like next bingo, I want to see it that every single combination of trying to do things requires riding the reindeer. I would like to, I want to see some deer.
Or see some deer skip, I suppose.
Now that would actually be a great tile. Getting the emotion threads onto play. Because then you could pick, right, between do you ride the deer down or do you do deer skip? So we can see a variety that way. That would be great, actually. So Rec, I think, is doing the same thing as Timpy here, just headed towards the Echo finally. Which I think they haven't primed it yet. Have not.
Looking like White Paws is now just reaching the end. Yep.
Yep. So I think that's fifth place for
Yes.
fifth place for White Paws. Great job, White Paws.
Yeah, good job. Well, Ambi's deer is headed to the right, towards a wall. Looking like it might be a bit of an issue.
Rec is going an interesting way back from the Echo. Oh, White Lizard. Or not White Lizard, Blue Lizard. This Blue Lizard is such a troll. Oh, Rec, come on. Please don't die to the blue. But yes, everyone's getting, or I think everyone's getting to hear Reindeer Dance, if I'm not mistaken right now. Or Reindeer Dance. Reindeer Ride. Can't see Fina die going for the same thing here. I've also headed towards this Farmer Ray's Echo. Seems like a popular pick this time. Very interesting to me that it seems like the most popular bingo tile in this contest was killing 3 orange lizards. So that's interesting to me. Ice just raised something interesting that Find a Die has not demasked 2 vultures. So I don't know what they're going to do for that. Farmer Ray's is actually a pretty good region to go for that. But a bit curious to see what they will do there. That's part of the fun of the bingo, though, is seeing what the runners decide to do. That's actually a huge part of the fun of the bingo. Looks like Finadai is dealing with some scavs that are, presumably attacking a green lizard.
And be seemingly now on the last reindeer before Subterranean. Assuming these other two don't give them any trouble. Interesting.
Funny season. By you mean easiest, you mean the diagonal? Because the diagonal was clearly the fastest in the bingo here. Just sit and listen to a motion thread for a sec here.
Rec presumably now reaching the echo before ending, I think. Should be about 1 minute 19:47. No, they're in the top outskirts shelter. Opting to give themselves a little more time to reach the echo to starve.
I like how Tim B finally timed out on the bottom in the shelter. But yes, this will be Rec going in for the end here, which will be 6th place.
Not sure how much more armor Andy needs. They might... no, they've skipped the shelter, so I presume they don't need the echo on the way down the subterranean ravine.
I am not sure where Ambi's coming from, shelter-wise. Oh, they're opting for the death route down the ravine.
The Wormgraster.
Why, Ambi? Why?
And GG to Rec, who's now finished.
So that's 6th place finish for Rec. Fantastic job. I think out of all the runners, I'm guessing that Rec had a bit of a tough time, although White Paws also had a bit of a rough time at first and finally died. But I think Rec was, I could see a few costly deaths for them, so this has been a bit of a theme in Rec's bingo runs here, but
You know, at the Sky Islands gate, they chose not to hibernate anywhere all the way to the subterranean ravine. So that's quite rough.
Rec is a great sport, though, who is also a fill for one of the other runners, so many thanks to Rec for participating in this bingo. I also want to mention to everyone again that basically everyone you're going to see here streams somewhat, so please consider giving a follow to literally everyone here. I kind of went through everyone briefly earlier, but Nano Ferret, I think, is probably the most active on Twitch recently, although Raccoon has somewhat been streaming again. Ambi was for a time, but less so now. But yeah, please consider to follow all the participants as well. That is a good reminder for me as well, actually, Pies. For anyone who doesn't know, Rain World, after several years of being around, is finally getting a DLC expansion, Downpour, which is supposed to come out this year. We will see. It'll be exciting. It is Rain World 2, I think, is the best way of thinking about it. If you're not aware, it greatly expands the map of the game, even existing regions. It is going to be something. I think the collective community is extremely excited to see what the More Slug Cats team has been doing in the 5 years that More Slug Cats has been developed.
Fine are presumably now going to try to head for 2 vulture demasks. Probably on the outskirts side of Industrial, if I had to guess. Same place as I think Timby was doing it.
That's a good strat, actually. Yeah, I could see Finadai doing that. Although we will see. They're just kind of going along through outskirts right now. I'm sure Finadai didn't forget to mark their board, so probably aware of it, but... And we can see that Ambi is once again playing with the deer. Despite doing the best column. Is getting punished by the deer, sadly. Finadai showing off the optimal looking food routes in that first outskirts room. Meanwhile, Ambi is saying, "Hello, darkness, my old friend," while waiting for the deer to finally show up. Yes, finally, we're behind pace of the bingo. Oh no. I think you're right, though, Pine Cubes. It does seem like Finadai is going to be going for this exact strategy with the vultures. So important, though. I don't understand why they ate food, because they don't hibernate in chimney or industrial. Could they be going back to shaded after? Oh, they might be doing the shaded bridge strat for the vultures. I wonder if they have enough time in their cycle for this. That's interesting.
Also, the demasked 2 vultures might include to survive, in which case they will have to pass through industrial to...
I would assume so, since they decided to grab the food in the beginning of outskirts there. That they would be planning to survive. Otherwise, skipping the food would make sense. Oh, looks like they're going for the garbage room. Okay. Kind of interesting, kind of interesting.
And taking a death to a pink, presumably going back to farmeries, if I had to guess. Meanwhile, Ambi has now reached the last deer room again, looking to get across this gap. Nice.
I mean, Ambi did select the deer. I think they knew what they were getting into. Although I will say a lot of respect for doing a column that no one else decided to do. I'm a little disappointed no one decided to go for the kill the DLL or BL, because I have to say if I did this board, I would definitely do that. Enter every region at least once. That sounds great. That would be such a fun tile to do, actually, though. To just, like, try to run through all the regions quickly. That would have been
Not
amazing.
too bad. Most players have been through basically all except some not drainage and everyone picked either shaded or garbage.
I think if I went to do the board, I would have just picked the top row, for sure. Is what I would have done. So, Haborp was, I am led to believe, the one who was mainly responsible for the board, also with Iced. Pinecube's also helping a bit, so it's kind of interesting to see what the runners decide to do. You're always going to end up with something you're not quite expecting.
Might continue with the tradition of the winner of a bingo making the board for the next one.
Yes,
if
Raccoon.
Raccoon's up for that.
You are now the bingo creator. I hope you're ready. If Raccoon makes the board, it's just going to have, like, do a full height, quick crawl turn jump in it and stuff like
Exit depths spearless with wall spanning.
That can be the middle tile on the bingo. And B, I suggest you do a charge pounce off the very edge of the jump and just hold down diagonal so you don't die when you hit the wall. And then you go down normally. I suggest not jumping straight to the bottom.
Everyone in chat, vote for your favorite fruit, according to Rex stream.
I want to see Kiwi enjoyers. Come on, where are the Kiwi enjoyers? Rise up. I want to see you in the chat. Okay, pears from Chosen. That's a respectable pick.
Ambi now making it down sub-ravine. Only has to sleep in the shelter and then find a way to get to the outskirts shelter, presumably with a passage.
This spot can be tricky sometimes, depending if the green lizard's just camping you. Oh, Scavs, our favorite. Ambi's favorite, I'm sure. Ah, there we go. Okay, Ambi's making it in the shelter now. Nice. The centipede jockeying him. Excellent. So, curious to see how fine a die is going to manage to get 2 vultures here. I think if I was in this situation, what I would try to do is I would head up above into industrial, like above that first room to get the vulture grub there. Unless Find a Die already has a vulture grub. But then I would head on over to Shaded. The industrial bridge leading into Shaded is a good spot to go for vultures. But I think Find a Die is going for the room leading into Garbage, which also isn't too bad at all. A useful thing here is that the Scav, secret Scav stash is right in here. So you can go ahead and grab a explosive spear or 2. And if you know a special technique, you can go for... yeah, makes sense. You can use a technique to basically one-shot vultures out of their mouth with basically counter-stabbing them with an explosive spear. Is actually a pretty decent strat. Hempamaz and I were playing around with that in 100% Survivor routing for a while, of trying to find a reliable way to get that going. Fun fact that for Monk to demask vultures, you need to use an explosive spear, which is a bit of an interesting thing. Find a Die nearly dying to a camo lizard, but decided to take a different route. I think Ambi just has to get to... oh, Ambi has to go up the wall. Does not have X. So that was an interesting choice by them, actually. Mentioned earlier, Ambi does have a pretty good time for pebbles percent, so let's see how the wall treats them. Ambi being the last one to go up the wall. Man, I don't even know that this vulture grub here exists along this way. Although I can clearly see that Find a Die has retrieved it. I think the best thing to do would probably be to take the shelter in Shaded, but maybe they can manage to get one vulture before going over there. I don't know if both vultures need to be in the same cycle. Definitely demasking the vultures is one of the tougher things to do on Survivor. Nice green lizard that's randomly there. I would not have gone for the stabs and tried to jump over it, but Find a Die is a professional here. Yep, completely agree with taking the shelter here for safety on Find a Die's part. So Ambi is getting up towards the interesting part of the wall just now, which I sometimes forget how peaceful it is on Survivor until you get up to this next few rooms. Opting for the yellow lizard den, which Ambi is a professional, but this is still spooky. Oh, getting a couple of mouth stabs. Oh, that was a pin. Wow, Ambi making the yellow lizards look a little silly here. Although I think there was a angry white lizard coming down from above. Oh, fast pole climbing. Ambi must be sweating a little here going through this. Something I'm a little sad that I didn't see from any runner that I definitely would have considered myself if I was doing this is going for the demasks in Shoreline instead, with maybe double spawning the region even and using a jellyfish to get the demasks. So, little sad didn't see any of the runners go for that strat, but
Been having some trouble with scavengers. Might
classic.
not opting to kill, but hope they just head away.
This is definitely, I can tell, not Find a Die's comfort zone here. It's going for these demasks. Because the grub might actually fall off the side with where they left it. Okay, that should be a kill on this vulture. Very nice. Okay. Please don't have fallen off the side, grub. Please don't have fallen off the side.
What a scary...
Scary scav.
Luckily, the demask is all that's required, so...
it is two vultures, though.
True.
So they have one, but the grub is gone. As tends to happen here.
Oh.
Yep.
Opting for the death to bring the grub back.
Yeah, doing that with the scavs around is just pain. I have had my grub go off the side a few times doing vulture cheese and chimney to realize that you never want to have the grub anywhere near somewhere that it can crawl off of, because it definitely will. I think they're programmed to do it, frankly. So Ambi here is just needing to get the X, and then we'll be done. Wow, Find a Die got the scavs twice. How unlucky. Just run over what happened in the bingo, more or less. So, had Raccoon and Pi, 3.14, finishing first and second, respectively, going for the same route, the diagonal. Next was... Nano fared, I believe. Oh, I already forgot. I think Timby actually finished before Nano, right? And then, Rec was most recent. No. I can't remember already. I forgot. I should have written it down. All I can say for sure is that Raccoon finished in first and Pi was second. It was Timby then Nano? Okay. I can actually check, but I'm kind of lazy to do that. Right, Timby, Nano, White Paws, Rec. Okay. So Timby and Nano also did the same route, being the leftmost column that Find a Die is currently going for, which they're struggling a little bit with the vultures here. White Paws was the only one to do the second row, which they did quite a good job with. And then Ambi here also doing a unique one. But they're just getting to pebbles now.
Looking like once Ambi's seen pebbles and once Fina has this last vulture demask, it will depend a lot on where their closest shelter is. It might be pretty close.
Do you know offhand if the vulture demasks have to be in the same cycle or if it's a different cycle? Is okay?
Not sure. I presume it can be in separate cycles.
You have to survive, apparently. And I think Find a Die's previous demask, they did not survive. So I think Find a Die has to do 2 still. Oh, they got 1. Nice. Where's the grub, though? Oh, grub's dead. So I think Find a Die actually has 2 demasks now, then, if I understand the way the rules work, but... Yeah, I think you're good, Find a Die. Keep going.
So it looks like Ambi is at the top of chimney canopy. Sadly, didn't get a lower shelter.
Interesting decision, though. I think to ditch the vulture mask that they had. That is an interesting choice. Oh, are they trying to do? This is a crazy movement to try to make. Oh, so
Almost
close.
managed it. So
Truly
that's
what the... sorry.
E.I. Hop. If when you slide, you throw an item behind you, you can jump out of it. And with a really quick jump input, you can travel about a third of a screen in the air. So it's useful for some skips.
It's also one of the fastest forms of movement that you can reliably do, other than, I think, boosting with explosives or creature flings that require way more setup. EI hops are something you can do anywhere. You just need a throwable. And by anywhere, I mean you need 2 tiles of ground. So that's like nothing. That's like basically the length of Slugcat of space is what you need to be able to set up for an EI hop. This actually looks to be a bit of a close finish between Find a Die here and Ambi. They each have to go through a gate, although Ambi's going to have to do 2 here. I think Find a Die will make it there first, but we will see. This room here in Industrial is not kind to people. Find a Die dealing with the classic green lizard. Opting for a wall jump to make it up this room instead of the pipe, which is definitely faster if we're going this way. So definitely looking like Find a Die has basically a region lead on Ambi here. But if Find a Die has a death and Ambi doesn't, that'll basically decide it.
Ambi having some trouble with a nearly dead lizard, it looks like, in this tunnel. Looks to be backing off, so...
Find a Die is closing in on the end. Almost into the smooth sailing portion here. Yeah, I've noticed, but it's managing. Just about at the end. For Find a Die. Alright. I believe that's 7th place for Find a Die. So, great job to them, even though I think they had a bit of a routing mistake. But, great job. And nice to see intended percents here represented. Unfortunately, they missed the last bingo, which was the intended percent bingo, and now we have, I don't know what you would call this one. This would be the not using squids bingo, I guess I would say. Ambi is also just about to the end here. As long as they can dodge a green lizard in this room, which looks like they're not there.
So, sort of worked out as 4 sort of pairs of close finishes.
Yeah, that's a good point. Ambi, definitely lots of props to them, although finishing in last.
Ambi with the best deer route.
Yes.
Number 1 deer.
Oh, Ambi's waiting for the 2 hours. Okay. Okay, there we go. congratulations to everyone. Thank you very
well
much
played to all the runner.
Thank you very much for participating in the second Rain World Bingo. I'm not sure if Iced wants to say a few words here, or if we're just going to hang out a bit to talk about how it went down. But basically, going through everything, main point, Raccoon came in first place, followed by Pies, and then I have to read because I can't. Timby, then Nano Ferrets, White Paws, Wreck, and then Finadai, and then Ambi here. I think everyone did great in the bingo. I saw quite a variety of different routes here, although I'd say that clearly the left column was preferred for some reason. Interesting that so many runners went for demasking 2 vultures, in my opinion.
And it looks a lot like we'll have to make Pebbles even less incentivized in the next one. Possibly using not having to prime the echoes on Hunter or such, and going for maybe easier tiles.
Yeah, not having to visit, not having to prime the echoes on Hunter will make a big difference, I think. No one went for having Kayava play, although we did get to hear it a few times. So the difference with Pebbles for Hunter is quite significant. So I'm imagining fewer people will be visiting Pebbles if we're doing a Hunter bingo. And then, yeah, thanks everyone for watching as well. It's much appreciated. You can't hear Iced?
Oh, I didn't. Okay, the audio was not.
Oh no, Iced.
Hello.
Okay, well, say it again.
I'm gonna say it again now. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Pine Cubes and Iced Oberones, for doing the commentary. It's a big deal. I'm glad you guys get some experience with that and help out with it. Haborp was the person doing the bingo, making the board. They were the previous winner for this past one. The next event is going to be the Hunter as Hunter, and we're going to be doing it the first weekend of October, that being the 1st and the 2nd. We'll have a form out in September, potentially earlier than that, where we can have people sign up if they're interested in being one of the 8 people that are on the stream. Maybe you want to volunteer, or maybe you're just interested in the event and all and want to be pinged about it. That'll be up for those people that are interested. You don't need to be a speedrunner. You don't need to be a streamer. We would like you to be able to stream if possible. Of course, we have all the people who ran in this event and did commentary and helped out. You'll see their Twitch links in the chat right now, being posted by Nightbot, and which colors they specifically were. And yeah, thank you everyone for participating and showing up, being interested in this event. We're going to wrap it up now.
Credits just in a moment. I just want to mention as well that we did try for this bingo bit, but we're definitely going to try to include again that you can participate in the bingo without having to stream. That's always like part of it, that you can do the bingo without. We won't include you exactly in the results because it's like not the point of the event. but you can still participate in